We understand that this nonsense the European brought here, the name of multipartyism and democracy, does not work for us. It shall never work for us. It is working in their favor. Africans need a lot of education to understand first that the throne is not meant for everybody. That is the bitter truth we must come to reality with. We must agree with that first.
If we talk like this, when we put this on, people think we are mad because, like you're saying, it's never everybody supposed to be a leader. But they brought this democracy, everybody just think that you have money, you can lie to people, you can mobilize people, you can be a leader. Because of this system, so when you have at the end of helping the person in power to succeed, you wait to bring him down because you want to be there.
All right. And this thing, democracy, is so pathetic to the African society that the first person who want to execute the role of that as an opposition is the African intellectual. When the Europeans came to Africa, they made military rule. But these people were so hostile. Take the case of Shaka Zulu in South Africa. He was so hostile to European to the extent that they had brainwashed us into this nonsense they call civilian rule. And that is why some of these presidents, when they hear the sound of the gun, they hide under the bed and send their children to Europe and send poor children to die on the street. Now, coming back to multipartyism, the African intellectual is the first person to embrace the post of the opposition because he knows that you have the help of the Europeans to help them take power from a leader who wants to build the nation. Don't forget that Africa, especially sub-Saharan Africa, should never be developed or industrialized because it's a market for the Europeans and the Americans.
Wow.
And now the Chinese. And now the Chinese and the Russians and the rest. They must be developed, and it should be done either by crook or by hook. They don't care anyhow they want to do it. Now the pathetic thing now is that our intellectual class, in the name of this rubbish they call democracy, the Greek version of course, will gladly participate, and then the masses are seeing the democracy was not respected. It was not respected. Our people need to be educated to understand that this thing has never worked for us and it shall never work. When Mao wanted to build China, he did something incredible. He first of all deleted this nonsense they don't want to hear that nonsense democracy. He went and said that there are no tribes. Okay? The factions of religion, there is only one thing, China. You get it? He looks for the language, a common language for them all, Mandarin. Everyone should learn Mandarin. They started teaching their children Mandarin.
Wow.
Revolutionize their systems. 50 years down the line, look at where China is.
Include the economy. Include the economy. But Africa only trade within herself about 22%. The rest is with the Western world. How shall Africa ever grow with that level of capital flight? In the name of free market economy. Sorry, let me cut you. I was asking somebody a question in Nairobi, the same question. I said, do you sincerely believe that Africa can industrialize with this open economy? Can we compete? You are trying to learn to industrialize and you open your economy to compete with the best in the world. Can you really compete with your own economy open? Africans have become sales boys and girls for China products. So, and you want to now learn to industrialize. Can you compete with China?
How?
So when I hear this intellectual talking about free economy, open and industrialization, I just, my goodness, it's just a waste of time.
How can Africa, the largest inhabited continent on the planet, has only the GDP of Africa is only 3% of the world. How can she compete?
How can you compete? How can you compete?
How do you even rationalize the fact that for me to take a flight from here to Ghana, Sierra Leone is more expensive than for me to take a flight from here to Lisbon?
Yeah.
You see, that is why I started from the beginning telling you that if you see anybody who brands themselves as a Pan-Africanist, who does not emphasize the unity of Africa, they don't know what they are talking about. They don't know the dangers that are affecting Africa. Okay? Look at Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka's port has been leased to China for 99 years. Maybe China has even owned it because of that. Can Sri Lanka even Beijing one small this thing of China, the one small region of China, and Sri Lanka stand them for war?
You cannot. You cannot.
What about Gambia? What about Gambia? What about Cameroon? It is not possible. Yet we have been so blessed that we have the world natural resource that wars will be fought over in 2040 and above. Wars will be fought over the African natural resources. Yet, how will this small independent Berlin country survive if we don't work together?
How can Gambia survive without Senegal? Let's be honest. Without West Africa,
how can Gambia survive
as an independent state? How?
And to be very honest, if you explain to me how Gambia has our own currency, how it works on the world market, I don't understand that. I don't have an idea how it works to understand that.
Yeah, so but don't get angry. So one thing I've realized that we've mistaken democracy as development. We are so upset with democracy even than development. I won't say African fighting for development. We don't care who is in power. We don't care how long you're in power. The important thing is that we want development, we want good economy. Like I think it's an intellectual group that have brainwashed because they want to be seen as a favorite of European. I work with EU, even as an achievement, and other things like that. You see, Africans working in World Trade and the World Bank, IMF, and this atrocity they are committing in Africa, and they're promoting those agendas in Africa. They just, look, like I said, the greatest, apart from religion, is intellectual community, Europeanization of our Africans. I was telling somebody, Africa is a dying continent. I told them, they didn't believe me. I said, why? In Africa, either you're an Arab or you're an European. In Africa, it's either you're an Arab or you're an European. And we are even proud of it. If you're not one of them, they feel like you are backward. If you are a Christian or education, you are an European.
You are European.
Or Americanized, you are Americanized you. So that's the point. If you see Africans go to Europe, I always tell them those Africans go, the more you go to Europe, they didn't see themselves as African, they talk down Africa. That's why Trump say you deport them. I'm so happy that you deport them. Let them know that you can never be an American. You forever be an African, no matter what you're an African. See, the moment they are there, you see them black, but they are Europeans mentally. Or Arab. Mostly you're talking about he pride himself to be an Arab than an African.
We are in trouble, as you just said, my king, we are in trouble. The thing is this, when these people brought this their Greek version of democracy, they made us Africans to think that the throne belongs to anybody, so anybody can fight the throne, which is a huge lie. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, he lies too.
Not everybody was destined to be a king. Nope. That is something that Africans must reconcile themselves with.
Yeah.
Let me elaborate why I say this. Why the British crown is there, it already knows it's successful for the next 1,000 years. In 4, 5, 7 years, Africans are deliberating who will be their next leader. You see the discrepancy here. You see why the British, even though it's a barren land, is developing. We were blessed with natural resources, but we keep swimming in poverty because the source, which is the crown that is supposed to bless and guide us towards prosperity, we keep fighting it.
Yes.
When they do one thing, the whole comes and destroy it.
Yeah, disruption.
Okay. We do this one. When you take us 5 years forward, there's a war because of this nonsense they call democracy. You destroy the 5 years that we managed to build, and then in another 5 or 10 years, you start looking for another person to continue who will destroy it. You see what is happening. But
there's no.
If you look at,
there's no consistency, there's no continuity, there's no foresight, there's no
consistency, there's no continuity. That's the problem.
And there's not even foresight, there's no plan for vision for the next 30 years or 40 years because you are fighting to survive. So you are fighting to survive the 5 years of your leadership, and that's the point.
That is where they robbed us from vision. We don't have a vision as Africans. When the Chinese are building their roads, they are thinking 2, 3, 4 centuries ahead. How their nation will be before they build their road.
100 years, 200 years.
200 years, 300, 400 years ahead. But in Africa, we build our roads because of the next election. Yeah. Because we want to bribe the population to come and vote and stuff like that. That's the reason why we keep this.
They don't wait for 2 months to the election to go and do a road that after 3 months that road.
Exactly. That's what happened in Cameroon.
We know that.
You get it? So the problem here is that people, Africans need a lot of education to understand first that the throne is not meant for everybody. That is the bitter truth we must come to reality with.
Yeah.
We must agree with that first. We understand that this nonsense the European brought here, the name of multipartyism and democracy, does not work for us. It shall never work for us. It is working in their favor.
If we talk like this, when we put this on, people think we are mad because, like you're saying, it's never supposed to be a leader. But they brought this democracy, everybody just think that you have money, you can lie to people, you can mobilize people, you can be a leader. Because of this system, so when you have ideas, instead of helping the person in power to succeed, you wait to bring him down because you want to be there.
Exactly. That is what happened to Goodluck Jonathan in 2015.
Yeah, Jonathan, yes.
And that guy he was one of the best African leaders.
Yes. He was one of the best at that time, yes.
Okay? But they brought this guy Buhari to come and fight him. He came and then 2015, Nigeria was Africa's biggest economy. It was 1 naira to 4 francs CFA, but now it is 1 franc CFA, a very devalued currency. 1 franc CFA to about 2.8 naira. That means if I have 10,000 francs in my hand, it is about 28,000 naira. Look at how devalued. In 2015 yesterday, if I had 40,000 francs in my hand, it was 10,000 naira. Is that not? Does that make sense to you? But it was Goodluck to bring Nigeria to that level.
It's a problem. Like I said, democracy is a destructive system, and to give you false hope, like you are electing your leader, but you are not. So we are not uniting a rally around our leaders because you want him to fail, because you want your favorite to be there. Instead of we helping them to succeed, yeah, it can be there, but we can own the ideas, lead him. Okay, you are there, but we think we can do this way. I'm looking forward to see where citizens can put ideas together and like I present it to our leaders. This is how we want to do it. Not sort of you distracting him. Oh, you didn't do this and get out, somebody else should be there. Get out, somebody else to be there. We can't go on like this. Let's rally. We don't care who is there. Let's rally around our leader with ideas and how to achieve them. We don't care who is there. Can we all be leaders? At the end of the day, you can make an impact without being a leader.
And the European educational system, their religious system, their governance system has overhelped us with you. You know the word obedience. If you don't obey their rules, you are targeted a criminal. You are targeted an outcast. Religion will tell you that if you don't obey, you go to hellfire, right? The government will tell you that if you don't obey their rules, you go to jail. The school system don't obey the way they think or they want you to think, you fail.
Even in the worst part is even that in this governance system, if you even take somebody on corruption to court, even though on substance the person is even a corrupt person, but if you don't follow the procedure, they can knock that thing out based on technicality. That's why I put my head and say, my goodness. So on the face of the evidence, on the substance, the person is corrupt, has involved in a corrupt act, but because of the procedural issues, you knock the thing out, the person should go and go scot-free. That's how we've gone through, like in terms of your obeying system that you have built for it. I was telling somebody yesterday, I said, look, anything that system is built by somebody, not you. So anything that forces you to follow a system that was not built by you, you are not part of it. It's slavery. I was telling somebody like
it's slavery.
It's slavery. Unless you are part of it, building it, say your perspective is part of it. But you just see somewhere somebody go to school, and somebody wrote a book. Book is somebody's opinion, and economy is somebody's opinion, and you go to the force you with it. You go to a university, they don't allow you to bring your own free thought. You must think like somebody. Even you go outside to bring an answer, they will mark you wrong.
You now see that the European system of education kills creativity, it kills imagination.
Yes, very true.
You understand? It doesn't allow you to in fact, you are not supposed to have a mindset. You are supposed to discard the mindset and embrace mind flow. Your ideas are supposed to be very dynamic and adaptive.
Yeah.
But they don't want you. They don't want you to have that. They want you to just follow them. And do whatsoever they ask you to do.
Yeah, according to this, according to this. There was a book, economic.
Yeah.
There was even an economic book I saw at my university library, which they wrote. It was written by an American. He wrote on it. It was after the American holiday. That day was crazy. So what good thing is the Americans want good economy, but it's not good for them. But we must take it and read it. And the American love Africa. No. So what you did, and we took those books and stuck our libraries with them. We're so even proud to do ceremonies or what do you call them, castle, the good relation between Ghana and America. It's just sick. We are sick. To be honest, we are sick. And I asked myself, since I started this journey about 5 years ago, I asked myself, how do you even get here? Sometimes we try to figure out how did we even get here, like you're saying.
How did we get here? We were not the only people enslaved.
Yeah.
We are not the only people who have been enslaved.
Yeah.
We are not the only ones that have been colonized. How did we get here?
This is sometimes you can look at Asia. I mean, India was colonized over 1,000 years. But after that, they still maintain their culture, they maintain their thing after they go back to their thing. That's different between the Asians. After independence, they go back to their roots. That's why they got it right. But we maintain all the colonial system, embracing new colonial system, and we think that that's where we can develop. You see, our intellectual community championing for this system, democracy, free market economy, what. I'm lying. Listen to Tanzania issue. If you listen to democracy and their activists, there's no responsibility. Nobody talk about responsibility. It's about right. So I was asking somebody what does life is all about right, and it's not even that they're even going beyond right to entitlement. Now I said, no, look, your right is somebody's responsibility, and your responsibility is somebody's right. You can't have your right without responsibility. Me, if I become a judge or a leader, nobody will enjoy a right without, unless you fulfill your responsibility, then you can enjoy your right. Like you go to a market, you go to Accra, somebody can go and dump rubbish on the highway or footprint. Go to Nairobi, there, Lagos West. You see the whole road is filled with rubbish. You go to somebody's market or bus station, rubbish, they don't clean it by using to generate money. How is your sense of responsibility? And this is where democracy is wrong. You become a leader, you don't clean your bus stop, you cannot operate it to generate money. If you don't sweep in front of your shop and clean your gutter, you cannot sell or do your business there. Your responsibility.
Exactly.
But democracy will not allow this, because if you do, we will vote against you. This democracy. It's very pathetic. How do you get this kind of mindset?